Hi, welcome to the last lesson for Benchmark 1. Lesson 4 is all about the families on the periodic table. And this is one of my favorite things to teach about. I could really teach about the families of the periodic table for weeks and weeks on end. And I hope that you enjoy this as well. I have a lot of resources for you to take a look at. And I really want you to focus on the things that you find out about each family and how they're related to fireworks. There are some families on the periodic table that contain a lot of elements that are on the periodic table. So, let's take a look at today's slides. There are quite a few, and I've had to make some changes for this virtual learning. Let's start with the warm up. If you haven't already, you should have watched the crash course video on Dmitry Mendeleev and the history of the periodic table. So today's warm up is really a review of lesson 3. If you need to, you can pause this video and go finish what you needed to finish for lesson 3. Okay, so I looks like I needed to update a couple dates in here, but the learning targets for this lesson is really for you to be able to describe the patterns that exist on the periodic table. There are a lot of things that elements have in common in a family. They have a lot of similar properties, and of course, we want to find those elements that are on the periodic table. So just throwing this out there, there's tons of funny chemistry jokes. Might pick up a new laugh line through this project, if anything else. We used to do a periodic table family album, and I did that as a way to introduce students to the infographic. You can still see what this family album looks like in the lesson plan, which I'll show you shortly. But since we're not together this year, I'm choosing to do something a little differently for you to collect information about each family on the periodic table. So we're really going to condense this into just 2 class periods to try to collect as much information as we can. Here's what it would have looked like had we been into class. I'm making this into kind of a virtual activity. And I'm really going to encourage you, if you have your periodic table that I gave you at home, to do the coloring activity, because the coloring activity really does help you understand where all the groups and families are on the periodic table. So this is one that I did in the past for the alkali metals. We're going to be looking at the elements that are present, what one of them looks like, things that they have in common, if they're in fireworks, and what they're used for in different industries. So this is kind of a cheat sheet for today's assignment if you want to come back to it. So here come the overload of video links. Don't freak out. There's actually some really good ones in here. This is a page dedicated just to chemicals in fireworks and different elements in fireworks. So this might interest you. It might also give you some ideas for your homework assignment today for listing elements that are in fireworks. This is what the completed coloring sheet would look like if you want to get to that. It's very easy to see. All the different families could help you with your assignment today as well. There's some Mr. Parr videos on the periodic table, but this is the page that I really wanted to show you. These are videos from a series that I think do a really, really great job. And I'm asking in today's homework that you pick any 3 to watch and to tell me which ones you watched. Some of them are certainly longer than others, but they average about a half an hour, and they kind of follow a pattern. And then this link takes you to another teacher's slideshow with some videos already in it. And I will tell you that this slideshow right here has a lot of super good information for your worksheet today, and you can get it right out of her slideshow, and you don't even have to do a lot of Googling. So really, you're going to take some time to learn about these families. So since we can't do the family albums like I normally would have, I've decided to use all the resources that are already here for you and have you do a lesson 4 families worksheet. So I want to take you back to the lesson plan. I will be linking the video here. You can see what the family album looked like, but it was just in the slideshow. This is the worksheet we're going to work on today. And then, of course, you're going to want to get to the slides for all the video links. And then if you get done early, this usually takes a couple days at least. There's a study guide for the end of benchmark 1. Okay, so I crammed a lot of information in one place. This worksheet is a grid where I'm really just asking you to document, copy, paste, put in information about each family. So I'm going to want you to list the family's elements. If there's more than 7, just list the first 7. I want you to copy and paste an image of an atom from at least one of the elements. You're going to need to learn how many valence or outer electrons they have, some common characteristics, if any of the elements are found in fireworks, and if it's yes, I want you to list them. And pick any 2 from the family and list what they're used for commonly in products or in industry. And then I want you to tell me just with yes or no which of these you watched the video. I'm looking for 3. And this isn't on your honor, you guys. I just want you to watch 3 of them. I think you'll find that they're pretty interesting. So you're going to copy and paste this whole thing, and it's going to get huge. It's okay. The more information you have, the bigger the document will get. You're going to copy and paste this in Benchmark 1, Lesson 4. So again, if you get done with this, you can certainly go to the study guide. We will be taking our first benchmark quiz, which is online in a Google document, or I'm sorry, a Google form in a couple days. So if you get stuck or need help, please, please, please don't forget to email me, send me a message, and we will work through this. And it's also a good time to see if you are missing anything from earlier in the benchmark when we were still in school. Talk to you soon.